A few weeks ago on the steps of this historic Parliament building that I accepted a petition of over 10,000 signatures calling for the Parramatta Female Factory to be nominated for UNESCO World Heritage listing and for the site to be managed in line with the Borough Charter. The Parramatta Female Factory, built between 1818 and 1821, is Australia's oldest existing female convict establishment and rivals Tasmania's Port Arthur in its heritage significance. Tasmania, that state, has protected and enhanced Port Arthur, showing its heritage values and social history to the benefit of public knowledge and state tourism. The Cumberland Hospital precinct, which includes the Parramatta Female Factory, deserves the same protection and investment. But in this state, the government has installed urban growth to build 3,900 apartments in buildings up to 30 storeys as part of the 31-hectare Parramatta North Urban Transformation Program. The very heritage values and economic benefits that would come from World Heritage or even National Heritage listing are being threatened by the overdevelopment of this site. There needs to be significant changes to the proposed North Urban Transformation Project, as it will substantially dwarf, it will monster the heritage buildings in the area while degrading their value and amenity. It's been raised with me that there's an inherent conflict in the Parramatta North Urban Transformation Program site being managed by Urban Growth New South Wales. I again raise my concern that each individual on the board of Urban Growth New South Wales has either a real estate or development background, and in my view there's insufficient demonstration of diversity, of expertise to advocate for heritage and social priorities at the highest decision-making of that organisation. Encouragingly, the Federal Minister for Environment, Mr Greg Hunt, announced in August that the Female Factory precinct will be assessed for National Heritage listing. However, the community is calling for a halt on urban growth project until this national listing has been assessed. At the same time, the government is being urged to fast-track the assessment. I also note that the announcement by the CFMEU that imposing a green ban on the Female Factory site. This has special significance considering that it was 188 years ago that the Parramatta Female Factory was the location of the first ever recorded industrial action in Australia. In 1827, the women of the factory went on strike for improved wages and conditions and forced the then Governor Brisbane to back down. In accepting the petition of 10,000 signatures, I gave an undertaking to bring it into the Legislative Assembly. Unfortunately, the petition missed one simple sentence in the preamble to the Honourable Speaker and members of the Legislative Assembly. So I'll be seeking the support of the government, including my friend, the member for Parramatta, who's here today, to ensure that we can bring this petition on for debate, to ensure that it can be discussed in this place. It does demonstrate a significant amount of concern around this site, and it's clear that we need to do everything possible to ensure that this magnificent heritage precinct is protected for all Australians. The long-term view is often missing when major civic projects, and we've seen that writ large here in New South Wales. And the community is concerned whether short-term or medium-term profits for developers, contractors and investors will trump the long-term goals of the community and will trump the protection of this important heritage site. I want to congratulate and commend all of those in the community who have expressed their concern, who have demonstrated their care and commitment to heritage in the area with their energy and perseverance, in particular the North Parramatta Residents Action Group, the Parramatta Female Factory Friends and all the community supporters who have dedicated themselves to protecting and enhancing this precious jewel in the heart of Western Sydney. We will continue to work alongside the community to ensure the Parramatta Female Factory Precinct, one of the historically significant sites in Australia, is preserved and protected for generations to come. In particular, Madam Temporary Speaker, I remember a time in my youth when I visited Parramatta Pools, and it was always a wonderful place to visit and a place that I have great memories of. And when you look at the important heritage, whether it be in my electorate or around this state, it's something that we must all stand up for. I know that in my electorate, the issue of heritage is something which first motivated me to participate in the local community. And the heritage items in my local community, important and significant, are ones which I have always stood up for. And so, of course, I look across this great state, being a member of this state parliament, to look at what is the most, in my view, the most important heritage area in New South Wales. When it comes to the history of the Female Factory, it is something that stands. It's something that stands without challenge. So, so to the Temporary Speaker, may I say that it's important that all of us stand up and respect heritage in this place, in our own electorates and around the state. And I encourage the government to reconsider, to work with urban growth, to encourage that we can have a better outcome on this site. And I encourage members for Parramatta, with whom I've spoken about this, and I'm sure we'll work to ensure that we have a protect this important heritage site.